the High Court block classes about gender identity for 3-year-olds because compulsory relationships and sex education classes are going to be taught to kids as young as 3 across Wales in the autumn. They are inappropriate and even dangerous.
Well, yeah, if we're talking 3-year-olds here, we should not be discussing the word sex and children in the same sentence.
As a parent of 4 kids, if I found out that a school and teachers were deliberately hiding information like the gender identities, supposedly, of my kids, I'd be furious.
Hello, we're live.
Yeah, we're live.
Hi. We're live. We've gone dark again now. Jason's just popped out. Hello, everyone. We're back. So we have got Matt Letizia in about half an hour's time. We're going to have a little bit of chat about some of Kat's research that she's been doing recently. We did obviously the Kinsey. We did the pornography. It's not going to be.
We will touch on those.
We will touch a lot on those later on because
yeah.
they're really, really dark. So the latest blog, Kat. Let's go over the latest blog that you've been doing. For those who don't know, Kat's did an awful lot of work prior to 2020, didn't you? Let's talk about you. Hang on. Let's have 5 minutes to talk about who Catherine is. Okay. So Kat's now been with us over about a year now. Liberty Tactics. And it was all thanks to the wonderful Paul Fitch who introduced us. And Kat had been doing a hell of a lot of work with to do with jibby jabbers. I can't say too much because we are on YouTube, and it's the first time we've tried YouTube in about 5 years. So we're going to try and stay up as long as we can. Yeah. So that was mainly your priority of research.
Yeah, that was
that's what you were
first and foremost, the medical industrial complex, but in particular, the jibby jabbies before the CV jibby jabby, obviously. But yeah, and then I came across. Well, it was actually I saw the Kinsey video roughly about the same time I saw the All About Me program. So the All About Me program was a program that went to 241 schools in England. This was back in 2018, I think. And this was part of what we're talking about, the RSE. So they put it out, I think Warrington Council or whatever it was got blamed for it, but it was a test run, I think, to see how people would react. And in fact, the guys in Birmingham reacted badly to that. But basically it was teaching masturbation from age 3, which they are doing, by the way.
Yeah.
So I saw it was like a 7 or 8 minute video on that, and then I came across the Kinsey syndrome, which is we're showing one of the Kinsey films very early hours tomorrow morning, so no children would or should be awake. But that one is a smaller version, a shorter version of it. But the Kinsey syndrome you can find on YouTube. It's a 2-hour 44 documentary, and it is. I had to actually turn it off about 3 or 4 times because I literally couldn't stomach what I was listening to and what I was seeing, and I knew that was connected to the current sex education in school. So that's where I changed. I was going between the two, still at the medical industrial complex, but more so into what's going on with the children. And now I'm just, what's going on with the children? So that's, I've been working closely with Public Child Protection Wales. I do a lot of research. And obviously now I work with Lou at Liberty Tactics, bringing it all to you. But yeah, at the moment, so I opened my website I brought out just because at that time they took my YouTube, they took my Twitter, they disabled my Facebook account completely, even though I have got quite a few of them. I can't get into most of them. So I thought, right, the nearest thing to do then is just do a website. So on my website is where a lot of the blogs are, where all my videos are. And recently, I've been doing blogs on the current resources that they're using in school. So, what sort of teachers' lesson activities and plans that they'll be doing with the children. And the one I'm doing at the moment is 200 resources. It was a great relationships in sex education, 200 activities for teachers, basically. And this is for age 11 plus, so it's secondary school. So I've already read the book, and now I'm going back through and doing it in chapters. So I think I've got 3 out on my blog, on my website at the moment. Parts 1, which was the introduction, 2 and 3, and I did say I'd have it finished by now, but I've had so much to do this week that I didn't get around to finishing part 4 of that blog. But these are the sorts of things that you really do need to see, to understand. You need to see it to believe it, to be honest, because you will be absolutely shocked. I should have brought that book with me, but I can go on my website and actually point out some of the things anyway. If you wanted to look on my website, it's exposingthelie.info. And you'll find it's quite difficult to find. Do you know what? I put that in DuckDuckGo the other day, the whole website. Yeah. I couldn't find it, my website. So I had to go to my Facebook profile where I've got a bio and I had to get it off there, which I thought was really bizarre because I'd actually just typed it in. It should have just automatically come up with my website.
The censorship is so...
Yeah, it is. So for all of us. And the more we're working on this, the more we're, getting more and more censored by the day. Yeah, it literally
I did open up another Facebook account, but I had to go somewhere else to go and do it. So it was on a different IP address and a different computer.
Oh yeah, it was recently you did that.
Yeah. But then again, I'm bothered with it. But I think there's a lot of people sharing this weekend. And then hopefully there's going to be a hell of a lot of support for it. We'll have a look at the fundraiser and see what it is. It's on 8,074.
Oh, that's like 80 odd quid then somebody's putting, is it?
Yeah, and we've got Richard of Obes is putting in 100. We've had another 100 come in from Dennis. Thank you very much as well. And we're just gonna keep plugging away at it. We've got Jason with us. At some point, he's kind of producing it from here. Rick's up in Bristol, doing it from there. And Jason and Yvonne are going to be going out into Cardiff later on today and handing out some leaflets and possibly speaking to people and seeing
what kind of reaction
they're going to get about talking about it. Because how's it been at the recent rallies?
Well,
you did the tour, didn't you? So how did that go?
Oh, that was really good. I did the first 2 days of the tour and then I was away, so I didn't actually do the rest. But obviously anyone following Public Child Protection Wales would have seen we did the whole of, we did South, Middle and North Wales over a 10-day period. So it was 2 locations each day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. I did Abergavenny. Abergavenny was the kick-off one, and that was really good because it was on market day. So there was a lot of traffic going. There was we had Daz from the Light paper, so we were doing a bit of outreach and then a bit of the demonstration, and we were giving papers out, and there were hundreds and hundreds of leaflets that went that day in Abergavenny, and then in the afternoon, then we went up to Brecon, and they were a bit frosty in Brecon, I gotta say.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was actually hammering down as well. It was remember I phoned you and it was raining badly, and the next day, which was We didn't even do Port Talbot. The rain was horizontal. It was just blowing.
There was one day in Devon, it was horrendous.
That we shouldn't have, there's no point. So what we did is we just went around leafleting. We went in some pubs and put some stuff and did that. And then in the afternoon we did Swansea. Swansea was really good as well because we were outside the back market. I was quite surprised at that because it's quite woke, Swansea. It is, but it even had actually a person who was speaking to what's his name? Daz. The person who was speaking to Daz was actually from the uni, and they took a load of leaflets and said that they were going to put the leaflets underneath the dorms, the doors of the of the uni. So we don't know what's going on.
The halls of residence.
That sort of thing. So and it was quite a big. And then it was really successful overall over the whole 10 days. Thousands of leaflets were given,
Fantastic.
Which is really good because, again, the point of this is to raise awareness. Do you know what I mean? And,
as well as raising the money.
They're
both equal, aren't they?
They are equal. Well,
the awareness is actually more. I mean, it's the whole reason
we're talking like that, wouldn't it? Really,
if everyone was talking about it, it would stop.
Yeah, and which is why they don't want us talking about it, and why they saying shut up, stay silent, don't talk about this. Carry on talking about everything else, but. This is the real pandemic, is child abuse. It is. Do you know what I mean? If we're going to talk about pandemics, child abuse, and it's the one we're not able to talk about, which is why this whole weekend is even happening, because we're going to have obviously we're having people from different faiths, we're having people from different countries, so we can see, and it has actually, this agenda has crept in so much over the last 10 decades, because it is over 100 years old, this agenda. Obviously there are key players passed down that made the most influence, your likes of Alfred Kinsey, Hugh Hefner, John Money, Judith Butler, which Joan will talk about Judith Butler, but we've actually got Nigel on this afternoon, and Nigel
Thorne,
he's absolutely, he is spot on with the queer theory and the gender ideology. So it'd be interesting to chat with Nigel. If anyone wants to have a look at his videos, I highly recommend his videos. You can get them actually, some of them on
YouTube,
on his YouTube. But Kim has been doing a live every Monday from Public Child Protection Wales's Facebook and Education. I can't remember the name of the group now because they've changed
Education, Not Sexualisation.
That might be it, yeah. Education, Not Sexualisation. Or he is Turf Man on YouTube, TERFMAN, and he's absolutely amazing, Nigel. So he's going to talk about obviously the gender.
If anyone's got any questions that they want to pop in, you can either pop them into the Facebook feed or the Rumble feed, or you can email info@libertytactics.co.uk with any questions that you might have. We have got Matt Letitia coming up shortly, and we're going to look at how it's approaching into sports. Obviously, we've had the swimmer, that Leah Thomas.
Yeah, I've heard he's decided now that he wants to be a man again.
Oh,
very
really?
Recently this was.
Oh, he wants to be a boy now.
Yeah, he can handle the pressure or something like that. I was like, right, so he's got his gold medal for his swimming.
He's got the gold medal, he's got his achievement.
I think they are doing, and you can correct me, anyone can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think there is something going on in terms of sports now that some of them people are actually saying, no, you're not able to do it, which shouldn't have happened in the first place, really, but...
They're doing away with women.
Oh, yes.
And it makes me sick because I don't know how it happened, but you get to a certain age and you've got menopause.
And you're like,
How dare you say you're a woman? You're not going through this.
Or anything a woman does, Oh, I'll tell you what I do want to talk about.
Go on.
Dylan Mulvaney.
Oh.
Right, I've got to talk about him, and I know a lot of the viewers will know exactly who he is because obviously the big fiasco that's happened with Bud Light recently, and they've made him the face of Maybelline as well.
You're joking.
I saw something, unless it was a joke, I saw something on Facebook the other day which showed him holding, you know, like a concealer or something. It was a Maybelline.
Wasn't he a
one.
Tampax one as well? Didn't he? I'm sure
Well,
I've seen
he
something about
definitely
Tampax.
he carries boxes of
No, but
Tampax.
I've seen something about Tampax. I'm sure they've approached him.
And I mean, that's just a big
We've got
massive
Kimberley
slap in
Isherwood
the
coming
face.
on, just to say a quick hello before we hit
there
Matt
we go,
Letitia.
brilliant.
Our Kimberley's coming on in about 5 minutes or so. I think she's just dealing with something.
Okie doke, no worries. Yeah, so if you haven't seen him, have a look for Dylan Mulvaney. He's going to come up with a bud. They lost like 6 million. No, 6 billion.
Billion.
6 billion. Like, well, that's how much they're trying to push it, and they're not too bothered about losing the money either, which should tell you even more.
I mean, can you imagine having this conversation, telling people, you know, we go back in time, you know, we can go back in time and tell our younger selves that this is coming.
We'd have laughed.
We would absolutely.
We would have said no.
I mean, it's
even though we were talking about this the other
nonsense.
night, even a couple of years, even if I had a conversation with my father now, who's been,
Yes,
you know, he's coming up 2 years till his death. And 2 years ago, if I'd had this conversation, I can imagine how the conversation would have gone, and it wouldn't have been, you know, it would have been like, what are you even on about? Never mind, you know, it's really ramped up. We know, look, it started a long time ago, but they've drip fed it very well up until, I don't know, I would say 10 years ago, it sort of jumped up a bit. But
I blame
in
Tony
particular,
Blair.
yeah.
Tony Blair.
Yeah. But we knew exactly, now looking at it, you can see the narrative that was played, the agenda that they were going for, you know, when we look back historically and stuff, it's actually all there. And look at where we are now. It's really frightening time. It really is a fright for our kids, especially. You know, we say one generation of kids have been destroyed. I'm even going to push that to say 2.
Yeah.
I think it's 2. And if we don't do something about it now, it's going to be a 3rd. Do you know what I mean? And this just, it can't happen. We got, you know, the drag time. I actually want to tap in if I can later with Phil, if he's available, just to do a little Zoom or something. If he, because there was
they're up at the Drags Queen in Lewisham.
Probably finished now.
Drag
I don't
Queen
know.
Story out in Lewisham.
It started at 10 this morning.
Started at 10, but you had a look.
Oh, there was some.
You were looking at about 9:30, and it had already started kicking off. And the wonderful Nick Tenconi was there, who will be playing his interview that we pre-recorded, because obviously he's at Lewisham today. We did a great interview with him during the week, and he's part of. Well, he started Turning Point UK here. Obviously, Turning Point UK is an organisation run by a gentleman called Charlie Kirk, and he started off, and he was very, very young, you know, and he's bringing forward. You know, he was an exception to the rule of like a young American, so because so many are so woke, he came forward and he wanted to stand up for those, you know, conservative values, and started Turning Point UK and the Christian values as well. So he started Turning Point UK.
Well, USA was there.
No, that's Charlie Kirk was USA,
Yeah, sorry.
and Nick Tenconi has now picked up the baton and bringing it here, and he's at the Drag Queen Story Hour today in Lewisham.
It did look
I
pretty
think we
heated,
might have
to be
Kimberley
honest.
on in a minute. I think she may be beeping into the chat room hopefully soon.
Let's see if it is actually still going on, because
Let's see if it's still going on.
you know, this is a danger as well.
And you can
You've
watch it
got-
on Real News Live
Is
News
it
on Facebook.
Cabba or something they were calling it, Cabba something, rave. So basically you'd have a drag act, and many of you would have seen the footage anyway going around social media a couple of weeks ago, where you'd be mother and under 5. It was specifically for under 5s, this was as well, and they'd go into, like, say, a pub in the day. All right, it was in the day. And then drag queens would perform for mum and baby, basically. So do you know what I mean? And these drag queens, it's adult entertainment. Look, it's not. People keep trying to, you know, relate them to pantomime dames, and it's
I
nothing.
mean, they
like,
were creepy enough. The
yeah,
pantomime
exactly.
dames,
But pantomime
you know.
dames were dressed more like a clown.
Yeah, and
Do
they
you
were
know what I
made.
mean?
It was obvious that they were men, and it was part
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
comedy
exactly.
thing. It was
And
still weird,
nothing
though.
to do
but
with sexual sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
there might have been innuendos at a
Oh, there would
pantomime
have
that
been.
adults would laugh about, but it wouldn't be.
It wouldn't be thong on doing a lap dance, or, do you know what I mean?
Gyrating.
Gyrating around on the floor.
It would
and-
usually be fat actors, like fat failed, whatever, wouldn't it? Just
Yeah.
fat old men generally. So,
And that's what people are saying. That's what they said on the chat, which I'll ask him about in a minute anyway, because I want to talk about the Channel 4 thing, when she comes
I
on.
think she's coming on. Yeah, she was just dealing with something, so she'll be on in. She'll patch through to Rick in a moment.
Okie doke.
We've got Jason here. I don't know, Jason, are you able just to come in and say something for a minute? Or is it because no, come on, just come in and say hi and what you're going to be doing and you're introducing.
Oh, I feel nervous.
Go on then. Well, you're going to be taking it over. You're going to be taking over at some point. We've got our Jason. Hello.
Hi, how are we all?
Together again. We haven't done this in ages.
Right, so myself, we're going to be, and Yvonne, we're going to be hitting the streets of Cardiff later on, so I'll put that out of the way. And we're going to be just asking questions about people's knowledge on what's going on, whether people know that there's this kind of what I call abhorrent behaviour happening in the schools. If a lot of people out there do not realise that this is happening. A lot of people do not realise that there is an agenda, and they haven't got a clue. Now, I'm not saying a lot of people wouldn't do something about it, because if they did know about it, there's a lot of people out there that would go a little bit bonkers. So we're going to hit the streets, we're going to be asking questions, we're going to be trying to find out what people know about this and trying to create a bit of an awareness situation for these people, because again, not a lot of people know this stuff's going on. So, we need to create the awareness, make sure people know what's going on, make sure people can see what's going on, and give them the opportunity to do something about it. And our lighting keeps on going a bit dodgy.
I know, it's attracting to your white and black. So I think we've got Kimberley with us, I think. Am I right thinking? Oh, Rick hasn't brought her through. Rick's not at the desk. Rick, where are you? Here he comes. Here he is. I think we're going to be patching through now. I think we're going to be patching through to Kimberley now. Is she there?
Unfortunately, I am not a co-host, so I can't patch anything through.
Are you going to have to go and let them in?
All right, okay.
Jason's off. Kat's back.
Hi.
We just got to. We need to make Rick a co-host on Zoom.
We'll do when we get a break.
Okay. We don't have any breaks. We're going for 36 hours. What are you talking about? So we've done an hour and a half. Hour and 40. Feeling good. We've got Kimberley Isherwood coming on now, I do believe. There she is.
Hey ladies, can you hear me?
Hello.
I just had to turn you down now you're on the TV, but
Can't hear her very well.
can you hear me now?
Hang on, it might be our end.
I can hear her.
Okay, I'm just a bit deaf then. Let's turn that up. Hello. That's better.
You're in it up, Blue.
That's it. Yeah, we're done now.
I can hear you now, love.
How you doing? I've been watching, guys. I've been watching from the go.
Have you been watching us go really wow?
We really
I've got you on the TV, girl. I don't know if you can see my TV, but I got you on the TV and I just showed you my big eyes in Thailand.
Oh God. You'll be watching on your phone tomorrow when we're in
clothes and not a pile of dirty clothes, huh?
Hey, looking good, love. It's looking good.
So how's things going, Kim? How's your last week been? I presume you're getting very, very busy ahead of May the 17th, because as I said at the beginning, it's all about awareness. It's about starting a movement in Parliament, outside Parliament Square on May the 17th. How's all that planning going?
Well, to tell you the truth, they want to know the last time the cat went to the toilet. It's a 22-page document that I've had to fill in for Parliament Square. 6 pages is the application, 16 pages is rules and regulations. So we have to have permission to use our amplifier on Parliament Square. They're asking me things like sound in decibels. Well, you may as well ask me. That's just a stupid question. So just send the link for the device. So it's been a lot of to-ing and fro-ing. But I think we are going to have Parliament Square on the 17th. It's looking good. The police have been really, really supportive and helpful as well. I'm really looking forward to it. We should have a meeting the day before with an MP. That's promising. I've had a conversation with an MP this week, and that's gone really well. I had a 50-minute meeting with them, because I have heard that, especially the Conservative politicians, they are afraid to meet with me in case I expose them. But my argument there is, if we've done nothing wrong, I've got nothing to expose.
Yeah.
So it's been a really good week on the London front. We're getting some good speakers together on that as well. I'm hoping the Lawrence Fox will join us. David Curtin's joining us, Nigel Vaughan, who is fantastic. Obviously, Kath is going to be speaking on the porn. I'm going to be speaking Adele, who she is the hostess with the mostess. So I'm really looking forward to London. We'll be there arriving from 1 p.m. Speeches start at 1:30 until 3:15. But yeah, everything's looking good. It's looking promising. We've been contacted by different groups from England as well, asking, can they join us and support us? Well, yes, absolutely. We've got 3 principles only, and that is you're either part of the human race or the human disgrace. There's one split in society, that's adulthood and childhood, and everyone under 18 is a minor. If people can respect those 3 principles, then you've got a massive warm welcome with us. So yeah, really looking forward to that, because you've seen, Lou, what we've achieved here with Uniting the Communities, but people elsewhere haven't. So for argument's sake, this MP I was speaking to, he is a member of Parliament from Wales, and he had absolutely no idea about how we've united different communities, the different faiths and sexualities on one platform. So it's going to be really, I want the whole of the UK to see that, and hopefully we can take that feeling, that energy to London with us, you know?
Yeah. And
I mean, I could just want to just say about the energy, you know, and how you've united people. If you could have bottled the energy and the camaraderie, is that the right word? The camaraderie outside the church, outside the court, the last day of that judicial review.
Yeah, it was
when
amazing,
Paul Diamond, you and Paul Diamond came out of the court, and what went on in that square. If you could have that, if people could understand the feeling that we came away from that day, you know, even though it turned out that, you know, the judge was woke and just nonsense, it doesn't matter. There's some magic happened, that there was God's presence in that square. I felt
it
that
was
day.
strong. It was amazing.
Absolutely, and as you've seen yourself, you know, there was families there was children there as well. And
Every walk of life as well.
Yeah.
This is what I say to mainstream media: you don't like us simply because when you point a camera into our crowd, you don't know if you're looking at a Christian or a lesbian, and that's what they don't like, and that's what I'm really proud of.
Yeah, and that's it. They can't spin it how they want to spin it, can they, Kim? That's the
and this
problem.
is it, you know, like, yeah, we do need media coverage because this issue needs to get out there.
Yeah.
But if it was a choice between media coverage and uniting the communities, I take uniting the communities any day of the week, because what's in the media is what they want to show you. What's actually happening on the streets is reality. It's unity, and unity is going to win this. Sorry if you can hear my dog barking. He's in the back.
I can't even hear
No,
Toby, is it?
We also had, now this week, you've also bits going on with Channel 4. Now we did the Richard Vobes show, which Richard's obviously just been on. That did some good things. It got a lot of coverage, not as much as it should because it was still being censored. But Channel 4 had got in touch with you as well. Do you want to talk about the experience with Channel 4? Because I've got some issues with Channel 4. I've actually got a letter here because I wrote a complaint. I wrote to them and complained about sex. What's it called? Naked education. Yeah. And it was all in the name of body dysphoria and dystopia, positivity. Yeah. So what's been the experience you've had, Kim, with Channel 4?
First of all, before I start, I want to thank Channel 4 from the bottom of my heart. They did mislead me, but the fact that they've chosen me out of the whole of the UK to put against Ada H. Hardon, who is the most popular drag story hour person in the UK right now, that's an honour. They've made me a public figure overnight. So first of all, thank you very much to Channel 4 for that, because I find it difficult to see myself in that light. And the fact that they've done that now, I couldn't thank them more for it. Just makes me clean up my act. And when they put you in the spotlight, just need to shine. So thank you for that, Channel 4. But basically what they did was they contacted us asking our views on Drag Story Hour. Now, we haven't been engaging in the Drag Story Hour, really. We went to one protest, which was already cancelled, so there was no children there. But we went to see what was going on. And also we've had our North Wales team have attended a drag event with Mama G. Now, So this is it. We've never really engaged in it that much, okay? So I don't understand why Channel 4 came to us. So I was under the impression that they put in together this big show on drag, and they wanted to show both sides of the coin. So I thought that we were just going to be a small part of a wider show, then like an hour long show. But it turns out it wasn't. They'd actually set us up. They'd actually put us on a 6-minute news show where they basically made out that we were the people protesting against Drag Story Hour. It's us doing all the protesting, all the slating. And basically, as you know, they will edit to try and discredit, but it didn't work for them. Because I went with the evidence, I've shown them the evidence, I filmed myself showing them the evidence. I've also discussed this evidence in emails as well. So when I say evidence, I'm talking about Ada HD's social media. Him, I'll say, putting a picture of himself on a naked anus. Ada was here. Love has no age. A young boy and an old man can pass for 23 in a gay club. And there was also images, a cartoon image where he was discussing orgies and wanting to have his all destroyed. So that was just his social media. Then I obviously told them about how he uses celebrity status. So his Drag Story Hour status, his children's entertainer platform, to raise money for a convicted paedophile who was a prolific offender and continued offending, breaching the child sex register up until his final breath. So I presented Channel 4 with all this evidence and they chose not to air it. They did speak about it in the beginning. They said that this all happened before Ada became Drag Story Hour, which is an absolute lie. This all took place 2 and 3 years after he started, and obviously raising money for a convicted paedophile, the drag queen, Darren Moore. He used his celebrity status for that. That is recent. So obviously he's supportive of convicted paedophiles, and also he's supportive of people who like to breach the sex offenders register, which is there to protect us and to protect our children. So even his own offending has continued since he's become a children's entertainer, right up until recently. And Channel 4 kind of lied and said this was all before he was a drag artist. Well, I've got the 18-minute interview, and you will be seeing that video this week because I'm going to be doing my own spin on it. I'm going to be showing what they did, what I actually said, and yeah, because I wouldn't take no crap off them. So basically, they did an abject job on us, which has massively gone in our favour. Like I said, I couldn't be more honoured. They've chosen me out of the whole of the UK. They've put my head at the front of these protests, which I've had absolutely nothing to do with. I've attended one where there was no children. Like I said, I'm absolutely honoured. They've made me public figure overnight. And I'm delighted. I'm absolutely delighted. Out of everyone in the UK, they chose little old Kimberley from my stake. So bring it on. Bring it on, Channel 4.
And you did show them as well, didn't you?
Channel 4 haven't done an abject job on me. As far as I'm concerned, Channel 4 has misled the whole country.
Yeah.
So anything that happens now moving forward is on Channel 4's head, namely the producer Vic, okay? Because he was given the evidence. So as far as I'm concerned now, being a criminologist, specialising in child sex abuse, specialising in the mind of a perpetrator, I can foresee more things happening in the future. And Channel 4, thank you very much for showing the public what you think of their children and how much respect you've actually got for safeguarding. So I think it went absolutely wonderful.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I've just brought my letter up because I put in a complaint about, there's absolutely no need for this to happen. I put in a complaint. So I'll just read you a little bit of this. Thank you for contacting Channel 4. Naked Education aims to inform audiences, break taboos and normalise bodies of all shapes and sizes. Through duty of care, all duty of care protocols were adhered to throughout the production. All participants were fully consenting. There's that word again. And in the case, let's just read this. dear to parents and guardians were present during the filming and also consented to their appearances in the programme. Any nudity was justified by the context, and clear information about the programme content, including nudity, was given in continuity announcements at the start. Your comments and concerns have, however, been logged and passed to the team responsible for their programme. So that was come from Anna Smith, Channel 4 viewer inquiries.
Yeah, well, I would like said to beginnings to normalise it.
And consent, it's the word consent again.
Another thing as well, right? So let's look at that and this drag story hour. We are being told that these are ordinary, everyday parents who's engaging with this with their children. I don't know. I don't think they are. I don't think they are general members of the public. I want to look who these people are, who these parents actually are. They could be anyone. They could be anyone. They could even be part of the lobbyist group, you know. Yeah. So we really do need to start looking at the parents here now. And this is exactly what I said on my Channel 4 interview as well, which wasn't aired. But you'll all be seeing what I said and how I thought of that. But again, it's these parents. We don't know what kind of people these are, right? We don't know the way they've raised their children. We don't know if their children are involved in anything behind the scenes. So we don't know the background of these people. So how can we actually take this at face value anyway? How can we say this is representative of the population? Again, look at Kinsey's book. Do you get what I'm saying, Kath? You'll understand what I mean there. Like, they said that this was representative of the whole population, right, in Kinsey's book. They say in the same now. Well, I want names for these parents. I'd actually want to look at these parents. Who are they? Where are they from? Where do they work? Who are these people? I don't think they're representative of the population. They certainly do not represent us. Yeah. Everyone I know wouldn't even give this the time of day. So again, I'm sure they are choosing their participants wisely here.
Yeah, they're definitely making it look representative of the whole population, when in fact it's just a very, very tiny minority. But that comes with the whole normalization of it though, Kim, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Make it seem like all of these people are really doing this or really like this, so then others thinking along the same lines, and then they're pushed over. It's just a lot of psychological warfare.
Well, that's it. It's like, you know, if you've got the one parent that thinks, oh, this doesn't sound too good, and then they inquire. And if they're being told, well, this is how we've always done things, it's fine, so-and-so's doing it, so-and-so's doing it, that person then, especially if they haven't got much confidence, or they're not a person of the world, you know, they just get on with their lives in a little bubble, they're going to think, well, oh, maybe something wrong with me.
Yeah.
But no, there's nothing wrong with you. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. Your first instinct should be your only instinct. And if your first instinct telling you this is odd, why are you listening to Mr. Jones down the street? Why are you listening to Mrs. Jones in the school? If your instinct is telling you this is wrong, you dig deeper. You know, if you're going to go along with things, and you might as well go back to school in the yard and deal with peer pressure. Yeah. You know, we're adults now. That peer pressure should have gone in the schoolyard. This is where we become our own people, and this is where we should be making a stand. So if there's anyone out there that thinks, this doesn't right, but you haven't got the confidence to move forward, that gut instinct, that's your confidence. You've got that for a reason. This isn't right, and you have to act on it, you know. Don't let people tell you you're a dinosaur. Even if you feel, oh, maybe I'm a dinosaur in this situation, maybe I'm old-fashioned, so what? Those are your views, those are your beliefs, and you should practice them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it just comes back to morality, really, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Common sense and morality. We were talking about that with Richard Vobes about, you know, old traditional ways and whatever. In fact, it is just.
But you know, instinctively.
Yeah, definitely.
What right from wrong.
You do.
It's within all of us, you know. And I mean, my biggest gripe, as I keep saying, it's the attack on the little ones. Like, just give these kids a chance to be free, without responsibilities and without any worries on their shoulder. They've got the rest of their lives. So it's such a small period of time that to have that innocence.
It's really funny. I did a Facebook post yesterday, and it's strange, really, because like, if all this stuff was about 30 years ago, right? So this gender ideology and everything else, my mother, she would be one of those parents that's like, oh, Kim, you should have been Keith. look at you, do you know what I mean? She would have dragged me along on this journey, and I believed every word my mother said. I would have hung on to every word she said, and I would have been on that path. But that said, right, my mother wasn't a very great mother at all, okay? Not at all. But that said, if they were teaching me anal sex, masturbation, and all this other stuff, my mother was the mother who would wheel spin in that yard, that schoolyard. She would go straight in past reception. She wouldn't pass go and wouldn't collect £200. She'd go into that classroom in front of the children and drag our teacher out. Honestly, my mother, so, you know, on the one hand, she would have taken me along on this mission, but then on the other hand, with the sexual aspect, she would have been punching people's teeth out.
Yeah.
And that's the truth, you know, and I was sitting there yesterday thinking, wow, that really is the reality of this. So that's one parent with one education, two different outcomes.
Yeah,
it's interesting, isn't it?
Because on anybody who knows my mother, they will tell you she could hurt us, but nobody else could. And if anything like that was in our lessons, or we come home talking about something like that, my mother would have been up there. And I'm not saying this like my mother did the right thing. I'm not saying that, because I never say my mother was a good parent. I never ever say that. All I'm saying is the two different extremes, the two different responses to the same kind of education. It's all under one umbrella. Yeah. So that in itself causes conflict.
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
You know, she would have left one side and moved the other side. So even in that situation, there'd be conflict.
Yeah. Yes, I hadn't thought of it like that, actually, you say, but it can split off, I suppose, can it? Even though you're under the same banner. Yeah.
It is. It's very interesting. And this is what I mean. This is what I don't understand. You know, so if you are a parent who believe you're very liberal and you're very woke, this, that, and the other, and you think, yeah, they have to have this education, they have to have this gender ideology. Well, where does anal sex and masturbation come into it? Where does bondage come into it? Exactly. That's nothing at all to do with sexuality. Then it brings us back to the argument of relationships. What makes these relationships different? The way you have sex. That's the only thing that makes relationships different.
That is the only difference.
Exactly.
So if you're going to explain different relationships, you need to explain the differences. What makes them different? Yeah. You know, because if you're dealing with a child who's got an ounce of who's inquisitive, all children are inquisitive, they're going to want to ask these questions. They're going to want more information, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we've got Matt Letitia, who is about to join us. You're more than welcome to hang around, Kim, or we can patch in with you later. It's entirely up to you. But